Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Glenn Lim and I'm your host for tonight's masterclass here, and we are beaming this live from Singapore. It's me great honor and privilege to introduce our guest speaker for the night, Miss Sarinrat Thomas. She is a veteran integrative psychotherapist as well as a drama therapist, obviously in her line of work in acting and coaching of actors. She fuses these elements into her psychotherapy work. Not many people know that she's actually not just a veteran, but a pioneering drama therapist in her homeland in Thailand. But over the last few years, she has moved to UK, United Kingdom, where she and her family resides, and she's actively practicing there. It gives me great honor tonight to just introduce her to us. She's got a lot to share, and she's got a lot of stories to tell as well. So at this point in time, please help me give a very warm welcome to Miss Sarinrat Thomas. Miss Sarinrat, over to you.
Sawadee-ka. Good evening, everyone. Before I show you presentation, let me tell you a little bit. Of course, I think a lot of people know me as an actress in Lanma or How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. But I think a lot of people don't know that I'm actually an integrative psychotherapist and drama therapist for more than 20 years. Today, we're going to talk about drama therapy for self-healing. Let me just start with a story. This is a real story of a traveler, real experience of mine. So you can close your eyes, or if you say, I don't like to close my eyes, why do I have to do that? You don't have to, but just allow your imagination to go and wander around and follow my story. Yeah. I want you to imagine that you sitting on the big ferry crossing the Gulf of Thailand. Beautiful beach, beautiful sea. Oh my God, I want to go there already. And I just want you to imagine that all of a sudden, whilst you kind of enjoy the view, look at the beach, the sea, island, smell, the sea, and then, you thought you were in Titanic because the wind blow your hair and everything. All of a sudden, there was a traveler. Just walk confidently and then pass you and sat at the area like the prow in front of the ferry, the prow of the ferry. And then she just sat there. She started to lick her finger one by one. She licked her finger, obviously, aim for saliva. And then she just gently rubbed the cuts, a lot of cuts, many cuts, on her ankle and on her feet. She licked again. And she just rubbed her cuts one by one, one by one. Not until later did I research a little bit about what is it with this saliva? I want to know, is that, is she crazy or something? Then of course I realized that in our saliva, we have this peptine that can help treat the wound. But at that time, I didn't know all that. What struck me the most is the way she did it. Is the way she's so into what she was doing at that time and the way that she believed that that's going to heal. For me, that already started process of healing. I don't really care if that saliva going to help her or not, but I do think that she really trusts herself and care that I'm already start to look after herself. So in a sense, she already start her journey of the self-healing. So for me, the self-healing then, meaning power of belief, that's one of the most important things. Trusting herself, she trusts in herself that she can actually do it. I don't know if she research about saliva or not, but she feel like I can heal myself. She trusting her intuition. She have this empathy and sympathy, in this case, empathic attunement towards herself. And we all know about how important with psychotherapy and being psychologist and everything, empathy is important. But in this case, she have that empathy towards herself. She also have this accepting who she is in terms of physical, psychological, and spiritual perspective. And I think self-healing also meaning what exactly she did, take care of herself in kind, gentle, and supportive way. She doesn't really care what people are going to think about her and how crazy she might look. And the self-healing is definitely the lifetime engagement throughout our life. Let's go to the next one. Drama therapy is also the application of the creative medium to psychotherapy using art forms of drama and theater. A lot of people think drama therapy is a creative drama and you just act out, have fun, and learn something from that. But it's actually a form of psychotherapy. Drama therapy is one of the art therapy which include art, music, dance, and then movement. And then, you know, it's so many things about drama therapy that people misunderstand. They also use kind of drama process, improvisation, storytelling, role play, products like mask play, performance, script drawing, so many things. And you will see some of it in our sessions today, our workshop today. And then they use all those product and improvisation or theater knowledge or art knowledge to help people to understand the thought and emotions and to improve their behavior as well. Drama therapy encourages people to taking action, and doing something about that problem rather than just sit there and being passive and thinking about it. How about you do something, taking action, and using all that through creative and expressive process and activity. It is collaborative. Modern psychotherapy and modern psychology, you don't guide the patients or client now. You actually try to collaborate this work with the client. So the empowerment of both therapist and client is very important. Let's just go to drama therapist. For me, drama therapist works as both clinician and artist who draw on knowledge of theater and therapy to use as a medium of psychological therapy. Models and approaches I normally use is combinations, or sometimes I use single or primarily use of creative expressive model, task and skill models. You will use a lot of task and skill with the people with autism, or Asperger or something like that, because that can help them learning or rehearsing something that they have to do or something that they have a challenge in their everyday life. We also use different psychotherapy approaches, mindfulness based approaches. I don't have time to kind of explain the whole different kind of approaches, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm going to just kind of touch a little bit in different psychotherapy approaches. So for the psychotherapy approaches, we're talking about, we use some psychodynamic approach, the unconscious mind to the conscious. You know, a lot of times it's things inside that need to be valid, need to be spoken. So you might heard this from Jungian therapy, Jung analysis of archetypes. We also use Gestalt. Gestalt is, you know, it's so many names, so many ways we're calling this one, but I would call it Gestalt therapy in terms of dealing with self-awareness, focus on here and now, how they relate to the other or how they relate to the experience before, but what about here and now? The client and therapist relationship is important, and reenactment. I also use all those integrative approach because I train integrative psychotherapists, and this work very well with drama therapy, where you not fix yourself with one of the approach or model. We also do the psychodrama approach, where you use the action method, you use role play or protagonists a lot in there, and it's worked very well with the group drama therapy. We also use the CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy approach, finding the alternatives. For example, using role play to explore how about this and how about that? You meaning how about you behave like this and how about you kind of thinking about how you can do different in a different situation, something like that. So it worked very well with the CBT too. The rules of the drama therapy, I'm sorry if I have to go through all this first. For the people who might not be the psychotherapists and everything, you might think, oh my God, this is going to be heavy, but bear with me, because I think it's important for you to understand about drama therapy first before you make up your mind or make the decision that is it going to help you or not? Is this something that I want to do to use to help myself? Or if I'm going to apply this to my work and to my life, is that worth, you know, using it? So I think to just give it a little bit of fairness, you need to know a little bit more about drama therapy first. So the rules of drama therapy. We have the spiritual healing roots, you know, about shaman. We know about, you know, before we have priest. We're talking about the all ancient medicines. People gather together in the ritual art form. They might have like shamanic kind of dance or everything in the purpose of healing or religious practice. So the arts used in the practice provide effective symbolics or explain healing and religious ideas. We're not talking about God and everything, only just that. I'm talking about maybe they have a symbol of some object or something that represents healing. And then people kind of believe that, because once you enter in that space of the shamanic dance or shamanic ritual, people go with, I'm going there to explore. I'm going there to learn a little bit about something. I'm going there to heal. So I think similar to our therapy space, people go there in, willingness to open to themselves a little bit more and willing to be healed or going to the process of healing. So that's similar in that terms. So the drama therapy used our symbols, ritual, dramatic projection, and concept of healing through action in order to making sense of something difficult, including illness, and to express difficult feelings and emotion. You will see that, with the shamanic and everything like that, because the drama therapy also come from the anthropology, part of anthropology. If you're interested in anthropology, if you read through about the shaman and ritual, it's very intriguing, very, very interesting. And it's actually the root of some of the renowned psychotherapy. So in terms of, I think I skipped a little bit. I'm sorry, a little bit, something happening with my presentation, but just bear with me. So that the spiritual healing root in the theater roots. So in the theater roots, in Greek theater, many years ago, we have this ancient Greek therapy. And the reason that they have that is basically to induce the catharsis. Aristotle talking about the tragedy in Greek tragedy theater is mainly to induce catharsis. And then the drama purpose on that time is to release strong, repressed, or harmful emotion, which will lead to harmony and healing in the community. So at that time, they gather in this huge amphitheater, and they might raise the concern or problem or illness in that community. And they might show as if like a theater drama or something that address that issues or feeling that happen in the community at that time. So people who see this theater feeling connecting, because actually their own problem as well, because it's an issue or something that's very close to them. So they make link. They see that theater and they feel like, I feel something and I feel like something working on me, and they might be crying, they might shout or something along with the theater they watch. I mean, similar to nowadays when you see soap opera, you see maybe you watch TV, you watch some TV series and everything, you cry, you smile, you laugh, you shout and everything with the TV, only because you can make that connection. Maybe you not share the same experience, but then is something working there inside of you. So I don't know if you have been there in this, kind of amphitheater in Greece or not, but this has come from the city of Epidaurus in Greece. So you'll be talking about 1,000 years ago. In terms of therapeutic drama, I'm just going to go very quickly on that one. But basically, it starts since the 18th century, where the therapeutic drama used in the hospital, actually, when they suggest people to do to do the role play, use the role play and story to create and to talk about their illness and emotion. And I think that's brilliant. And it's also suggests as a form of recreation as well. So people who may be left their hospital already, left the treatment already, maybe they can use the art or something that they learned throughout staying, throughout their stay in the hospital to heal themselves after the treatment as well. And then throughout the years, it evolved and focused on the theater and therapy became more defined. When I say defined in 20th century, I think because the root is come from so many places. So it started to make sense with people more and start to become kind of solid approaches to educate more to the other people. So it's not just a concept, but then put together as the education to educate other people too. So because I'm based in UK and I'm actually trained in UK, so I have to tell you a little bit about development of drama therapy in the UK. So in 1930, one of the British actor called Peter Slade, he used this drama therapy. It's the first time ever that used the words drama therapy. And he used it in the paper that he submit about submit to British Medical Association about his mental health patients. So the mental health hospital already suggests Peter Slade to say, hey, I think, your work might be something that's useful for my mental health patients. Just come and do the research and do the work with my people. So that pretty much in the UK, the first time where the medical settings, open the big arm to the drama therapy because they believe that it's going to help heal the mental health patients. So that's very interesting, and I'm very proud of that. In 1960, drama therapy developed from drama in education, theater in education, and remedial drama. Sue Jennings is one of the drama therapy pioneers in the UK. She formed this remedial drama group, so basically to heal, to kill, you know the words remedial, right? And then it's using drama therapy techniques developed in education in clinical areas and joined together. If you know a little bit about Sue Jennings, she pretty much swear to the model of EPR, which is mimic the development of a child development. EPR, then the E is embodiment, P is pretend play or projection play, protective play, and then R is role play. So if you imagine the development of a child, one child, so when they're first born, when they're the baby, they care about themselves. They play pretty much about themselves. They play with their saliva. They play with their finger. They're licking their finger about them. They're just pretty much trying to identify and understand about themselves. And then pretend projection play. Then they start playing with toy, start playing with others, and role play when they actually understand that they themselves can act in so many ways, so many things, and get other people attention in so many ways, even though they can communicate that in the verbal, in the concrete or concise like verbal communications or not. The group developed into Remedial Drama Center, and then I'm just going to go fast in this one because I'm aware of the time. We don't have much of the time today, but in 1970, this remedial drama of Sue Jennings then named itself first as a Dramatherapy Center. And then in 1977, at the Hertfordshire College of Art and Design, they took the first group of drama therapy students. And later on, it's become University of Hertfordshire, and I train drama therapy from that, but they don't have this course nowadays. I think they stopped this course in University of Hertfordshire many years ago, but the lecturer and everybody that involved is become also a pioneer of the drama therapy course through around England. So let's go to the multi-arts and theater forms. We can use so many things like dolls, painting, small object, poems, story. We can use images, we can use mask, we can use script play, role play, whatever you feel comfortable and confident with. We can use the movement. I'm also do a little bit of movement. You can use the puppet. You can use the archetype or role cards or name cards. You can use music, sound play, objects, word games, and everything like that to help. But I would say the most important things in terms of the two is yourself. A lot of time I prepare something before I see my client, but I don't use anything at all apart from myself. A lot of time my client just want me to be there and listen, and that's enough. But a lot of times they say, you know what, how about I'm not using all the tools and everything, but I want you to interact with me, play with me. Something like even a mirror game or something can be useful to as well, but you don't need any tools at all, isn't it, for that? You just use yourself. So you have to be prepared to use yourself as a tool. So therefore, if you remember when I'm talking about the definition of a drama therapist, we also the clinicians, but at the same time, we also an artist. You need to be very comfortable with the art form we use. But from the people who participate and you yourself that going to use drama therapy for self-healing, you don't really have to have training in drama. You don't have to have a training in arts and anything, because the expressive art or creativity is already within you. You don't need to train more for that. But drama therapy can guide you to make use of that potential inside you a bit more. So drama therapy and, 1 second, I have to go back in that. Drama therapy and self-healing. To tell you a little bit about how drama therapy and connect with self-healing, I'm just going to use my skill in terms of the acting a little bit to tell you this. So I have to warn you a little bit first. This is a part of my autobiographical performance, or last year I do this project, which is basically the mental health talk. And I invite a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of clinicians to do mental health monologues. And it's well received last year. And we're going to do again, hopefully we can do this year, at the end of this year, or perhaps, sometime next year. So a little bit of the warning is any issue that I'm going to talk about resonate or make you remind you of your own experience. I hope that you will perhaps, maybe give yourself a break or pause a little bit or something. And I'm sorry, because I try, what I'm going to try to do, I'm not going to do the full version. I'm just going to do something that I think is going to be safe. But I really want everybody to understand that I will be with you and I will support you. And if anything resonates with you, I'm here and I will be support whatever I can. You're going to see the two parts of my life, which is going to divide by the picture. I don't have exact picture of that time because of my families and everything going on with my family. We lose a lot of pictures. And that is one of my treasure that is basically, I lost it. But it's just going to represent each time for you to get an idea of that event, what happened around that time. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to walk out from the screen and I'm going to walk in to talk to you as if I was in that age, yeah? Hi. Hi, uncle. Hi. Hi, aunties. Oh, thank you for coming to see me. Hi. What? Oh, what happened? Do you want to hear about? I don't want to tell about that. I don't want to talk about that. Okay. I'm sitting outside my house. Then I hear throwing, punching, a lot of something like that. So I'm going upstairs in my room and I just sit there. But I still can hear that. I still can hear that. So I just start talking to myself and I like, and I just like, I remember I just talk as if I'm an actor. So I'm like, oh yes, I didn't know like exactly what this means, but I start talking to myself and I talking with a mirror and I just like, la, 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 whisper, oh, almost like I'm with somebody else. That helped me a bit because it distracted me from what happening downstairs. After all, punching, kicking, still there, but I'm in my world. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm not in the mode. I said I'm not in the mode. Do you know my mom just strangled me? Yeah? I didn't do anything. No, I didn't do anything. And if I did, Can she strike me as a punishment? I don't know what to do. If my grandma didn't hear about this and come to help me, I don't know what's going to happen with me. Do you know, sometimes I just sit there and wonder, my mind wander somewhere, and I just thinking about, what if I'm not here? What if I grown up in a different family? Or what if I'm in a different country? What if my parents or my mom be a different person? Thank you for listening to my story. So I just want to go to the techniques that I used in my childhood without any knowledge at all about the drama therapy. I use story making. I just imagine myself going to the better world, or maybe create a story of okay family, or story to myself when I grown up, when I'm not in this family, who I'm going to be, what I'm going to do. I use the role play and pretend play. I'm always love movie. And I have to thank to my dad to take me to a lot of movie before. He loved cinema, and I learned a lot from that experience. I will use a role play. I would just talk to the mirror. I would just talk as if I'm becoming a different person, or maybe a hero, maybe somebody stronger, or even use the role play as almost like a reversal play. What if I'm my mom? What if I'm my dad? And how mom and dad should actually take roles or play roles in a child life. I use a lot of that. I'm also use soothing song with Chinese cradle song. I want to kind of emphasize on this a little bit. As Glenn suggested me, and a lot of people here know that I am also the actress in 𝐼𝐬 𝐒𝐀𝐑𝐈𝐍𝐑𝐀𝐓 How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. They are the scene talking about the cradle, Chinese cradle song. It's coincidence. The script that writer and everything didn't talk to me about that. I didn't tell them about that, but I remember my grandma when I was young singing this. I don't know exactly the word, but I don't know if you're going to remember that or not. Eh, ong 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 kim ko. And this is actually mentioned in the film, but I use that to heal and to help myself, to distract myself from that noise and that scary noise, scary sound. And I use that for myself. I also use gibberish. I don't know about that English or something. I know a little bit, but I'm so young. I don't know the meaning and everything. But I will come back and I'm just like, yeah, talk as if I know English so well. But I use that to kind of, do that, to heal myself, I would say, without I'm knowing that what I actually did. Everything that I say that I used in a childhood, it's used all core processes and techniques in drama therapy without I know about it. I might don't have time to kind of go through every single thing and emphasize everything, but I use the dramatic projection. I project, something, this issue outside myself. I using the personification, impersonation, using, become someone. I don't have interactive audience and witness it, but I have mirror. So I put the mirror, as if the reflection of those audience and witness. I use playing, I use drama therapy, therapeutic empathy and distance myself from that reality. Using live drama connection, transform this to be something else, transform myself to be something else, and transform the situation to be something else in my own creative world. I use the embodiment, of course, put everything together. And all of that is therapeutic performance processes where I use it. When you're talking about the therapeutic performance in drama therapy, we're not talking about you have to act, you have to do such a performance, big performance. if I ask you about something and you say, oh, this is the way I wake up in the morning and I get up and I like, yawning and stretching and everything, that can be the therapeutic performance in a way, because that's the action, that's expression. So it doesn't have to be a huge thing. It doesn't have to be a make-believe thing. So that's the core process of and technique in drama therapy. How drama therapy can heal? Emotional expression and catharsis is important in drama therapy because drama therapy can provide safe and creative space and outlet to express difficult feelings and emotion. Drama therapy can heal because you can have a chance to explore yourself, have an insight, because drama therapy encourages individuals to explore their own thoughts, feelings, and experience. They provide an escape and release. In this case, escape and release is so many meaning. In my case, I escape to the different world, different places. But in this one, in terms of the psychotherapy, we would say it's escape and release in the way that helping individuals to gain clarity, process past trauma, and support personal growth. Because you don't have to stuck in your own problem and your own trauma. You can actually, use the other creative thinking or whatever, do other things about you. You not just only represent about the trauma, you also have the other aspect of yourself as well. And mental health recovery, promoting imagination, abstracting thinking, which provide benefits to a range of conditions, help individuals come up with creative and strategy to their problem. Opportunity to explore complex issues, including trauma issue, without verbalizing it. A lot of time, when we work with the trauma patients, we don't want to re-traumatize them again. So the barriers, I think it's so many things. It's self-criticism, self-sabotaging, self-hate, it's a whole self-concept. The self-conflict, do we have any transaction analysis psychotherapists in here? Maybe you can support me in here. The self-conflict, being therapists or not, a lot of time when you have to give advice to other people, we are so good at it. But when we have to deal about the problem of ourselves, when we have to try to help ourselves, we sometimes stuck or very, very, self-criticism. And that is because of, perhaps in transaction, we're talking about the parent ego self, we're talking about the adult and child. Because the parent self always say to you, are you sure? No, are you, it's just create your self-doubt, is it a good way? Are you sure? Do you have a confidence and everything? So you always have this self-conflict, and sometimes it can be barriers. You're talking about in denial. A lot of times we say, yeah, I don't think that I don't need anything. I don't need to do anything. I'm okay. Lack of self-trust and self-confidence. Believe you have to do it all alone. This is very important. When you see the word self, you think this is alone. We have to do it all alone. I think in this case, it's not. The self-healing, it's something that you do throughout. And of course, if you've been in the journey of, in a therapy session or whatever, it's before, during, and after the session. But at the end of the day, it's not something that you have to do it alone. You can start by talking to someone, expressing the feelings, to someone. You can start by seeing someone, being socialized and everything. It's not about you have to deal with it alone. The barrier is also trapped emotions from trauma, heartbreak, stress. Sometimes it's just not really helping when you have the chronic stress, because it just stops you from thinking or dealing or concentrate, focus on something. The diminished insight can be from any conditions or symptoms, experiencing severe mental health problem, not ready to make change. That can be barrier, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it, but that sometimes can cause a little bit of challenge. Now, do we still have a little bit of time? This is going to be the first time that I'm going to go to do exercise in the shortest time ever. And we don't need to share this, but I just want you to try something. Would you please find one paper? Can be A4, can be any paper, or even notebook, and if you have a space. I'm going to give you a little bit to peek at what it's going to look like. I just want you to divide that paper into 6 parts like this. I'm not going to tell about this story, so I can show it just like that. Just divide it into 6 parts. I'm going to introduce some of the technique that you can start your journey of self-healing. And this is a six-part story method. So the 6-part story method is actually from the Muli Lahat, which is Israeli psychologists and psychodrama specialists. And they use it in so many things, you know, with their mental health patients, and also using to let the people explore a little bit about their coping strategy and mechanism from stress and anxiety. So let's just do that. So I think at the moment you then will have the paper and then look like this. Am I right? Hold on. You just keep going 1 second, yeah? Okay, you will have this 6-part, yeah? So normally we're going to draw this, but I don't think we're going to have time. So if you can draw quickly, fine. If not, you can just write the answer, write something that you have in mind in each box. The first box will go to think about the main character, anything in the world, but this is not rewriting your story. What I mean is, it doesn't have to be a real experience, doesn't have to be your real story, doesn't have to be resonate with anything. It's not, we don't have to. We can go like fairy tale or thinking about like animation or whatever. We doesn't really have to think about your own experience. This is so, just take it so far away from you. So the first one is main character with their landscape. Landscape in this case meaning, if I'm going to say, I'm going to do the superwoman, I can say that the superwoman living in the desert or or in the space or whatever. So you have, you know, the location for this thing. So quickly go to the box number 2. Sorry if I'm not having, you know, so much time for this, but I will give you the idea of that. The second one will be, what do you want to achieve or task? Basically, what this character have to do in this story. And you might think, like, I didn't see the whole story yet. How would I know? It just imagine, just, you know, for example, I say the Wonder Woman, it doesn't have to be Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman coming. And again, it's not a stereotype. So if you think about Wonder Woman, you might think the Wonder Woman come to conquer or help the world. It doesn't have to. Wonder Woman can come and learn how to do Thai food, how to cook the Singaporean noodle or whatever. It could be anything. Yeah. Task doesn't have to be such a stereotype and things that, you know, everybody have to share or have a common interest, common things to anyone. And then the third one would be, whatever that character have to do in this story, is there any obstacle, any problem the need to overcome? The problem can be from themselves, from other people, or from their own thought, can be abstract, can be people, can be anything. The fourth one will be, sorry, I'm going super fast, and but I hopefully that I will be, you know, send it a PowerPoint to you too, so it will make sense to you more later then. The fourth one would be, with that obstacle, is there any help to this obstacle? And again, help can be anything. Help can be you help yourself, you do something to help, or other people help you, or your imagination that it will just disappear. Can be anything. No right or wrong in this one. And then the fifth one would be combinations of everything. How do you want this story to end? How this story ends? And then for the last part, and then remember, if you use this or apply this, I think we try to encourage people to draw rather than to writing the words. And if they say, I can't draw, you say, this is not for the art class. You just draw something that you understand. You know, it is not like to show. Or if they say, I don't want to draw, I don't want to talk, but I want to act out, I want to do the acting, they can do too. So last box, the box number 6, is in the near future, and it's entirely up to you. I'm just going to throw this responsibility back to you. Near future can be 1 month, 6 months, or in a year. What do you think is going to happen in the future? what is going to happen. This is your own story. Yeah. And I hope because obviously we're not in person, so I won't have a chance to see if anybody want any help from me or is any stuck in anywhere. But hopefully this is just, just to get you the idea and you start doing something. And of course you have a chance to ask me later, or you have a chance to email. If I could be of any help, email me and I would let you know a bit more. So with all this, sorry, again, it's going, a bit too much. Just bear with me. It just changed completely everything now. So just bear with me. Oh, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know why it's going down. So sorry about this. I'm just gonna go quickly to the last one. Sorry about this, everyone. But I noticed something with my my laptop for a while, but unfortunately I'm only have access to this one laptop. So let me just go 1 second to go to the last one. So everybody got, that, right? All the 6 part. So this 6 part can tell you so many things. One of the thing is also telling you, is also kind of introduce you the opening communication or dialogue that you're talking about yourself. For example, you might ask to yourself like, oh, wow, I have this creativity or something. Or maybe you say something a bit deeper. Is there any conflict, any themes, or anything at all in this story resonate or different to you? The problem solving in this story, when they have the obstacle to overcome, is it similar to me? When I have the obstacle in my life, am I stuck? The problem skill that I'm using the same of this story or not? Or what you normally do when you have to coping with something, are you normally dealing with that yourself, or are you waiting for other people to do it for you? It's so many things that can that you can find from that. The conflict themes, the way you relate to other, the way you trust or believe about yourself, the confidence about yourself. In terms of the coping skill, a lot of people, it's the first time ever they see that actually, you know what, from the story, I'm actually waiting for people to change. And that would be quite challenging and difficult. So to explore a little bit more, this is not just a one thing tell all. I'm talking about drama therapy as a process, and we can use that as the beginning of something, or we can use that combined with other things. So hopefully you see a little bit about the themes, about the role, about the way you're looking at yourself, about something happening, maybe resonate with the life experience that you have now. Or perhaps if the role is somebody else in your life, maybe it's telling you that maybe majority of your life you're just thinking about that person but not yourself. It could be anything. So from this, if you see the number 6, box number 6, when you're talking about the future, the way we work with the future is also about the hope and hero type of it, is that we can work about it. For example, if this role, this character stuck, maybe we can ask a question to yourself of, what do you want to be? What do you want this role to see this role in the future? So you can work on the hero or hero about that. Talking about that, I think we can have 5 minutes on that. Let's just do 5 minutes on that. I maybe use the same paper, flip into the other page, or you writing on the space. Just say the roles, maybe 5 roles in your life that you can think of now. This could be younger daughter, teacher, professor, therapist, husband, wife, cleaner, can be anything. 5 roles in that, in your life that you can think of now. And maybe please just, I don't know if you can answer in the chat. Just pick that 2 roles that you want to explore, and can you please write that 2 roles in the chat box? And of course, I'm not going to ask you to share, but I just want you to kind of go with this process together. I want to make sure that you're with me. That's all. Yeah. So the two roles that you see, you know, in your life, 5 roles, but pick just 2 roles that you want to explore. Have you done that? For some reason, I can't see that. But anyway, I trust that you already did that. But I don't know why I can't see that. And I just want you to look at it, those 2 roles without having to say it out loud to me and think, that 2 roles relate to each other? Maybe you just nod, or maybe you just check, you know, are these 2 roles not to each other, but relate to each other? And I want you to also, you know, just thinking, is that role you are to, you know, if you have to evaluate yourself, assess yourself, are you perform that role nicely, okay, or you're stuck, or is anything that you can improve in that role? And if you can think about the role that you think is you're doing well in your life right now, the best, you know, you can perform the best, the role that you could perform the best. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you think you can do that effectively. Can you think about, you know, how you can apply the qualities or everything from that role that you feel comfortable, you feel happy with, to the role that you're stuck? I'm going to write these questions. What if overdo in the role would I become a burden? I'm going to talk to this later in the question time. So you have those 2 roles, and you have another role that you think you're doing the best. And I asked you that in those 2 roles, how do you see yourself perform? So the hero or hero coming along, when you start to thinking, what would you like this role to be in the future? It doesn't have to be a best, you know, a version. I think people grow every day. You know, you are better and better every day. But what you would like you to see yourself, what would be hero to you? For example, for me as a mom, my hero or hero role as a mom, I don't want to be the best mom ever. But for me, I want to be the mom that my sons know that, you know, and turn to and know that if they want to talk about something, they can without feeling fear or feeling like I'm going to judge them. And that's my hero or hero role. Okay. So I think I'm just going to leave it at it is. Before I finish, I'm going to say this. For me, healing is an art. It takes time, you know, it takes practice, and it takes love. And in this case, it takes a lot of self-love before you give other people compassion, which I think is really lovely to do. We all need that. Please give a lot of self-compassion to yourself, and that is the good start of their self-healing. For people who want to contact me and everything, you can find me from my email and everything. When I sending this presentation, you will definitely see all those emails and website and everything like that.
Wow, thank you, Sarinrat, for enlightening
You're very
us
welcome.
to the whole scope of drama therapy. I mean, that was a mini lecture and nothing short of. To help us facilitate in this short Q&A, we've got a good friend of mine, Dr. Geraldine Tan, Dr. Jerry. She's a principal clinical psychologist and founder and leader of the therapy room, and she leads a clinical team over there. So I'm going to pass this time to Dr. Geraldine, and she will help us to facilitate this maybe about 10-15 minutes of the Q&A segment.
I know you put down the question earlier on about overdoing. Do you want to start with that question?
Yeah.
And, you know, I can pick up on some of the other more popular questions on the pigeonhole in a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Thank you so much for that question. To say, what if, you know, I overdo the role that I'm already burdened? This is role method will help you a lot on that, because a lot of time roles come with a lot of conflict and responsibility. You can't escape from that role. You have to do that role. So you can't just say, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm not going to be mother and everything. But what you can do is, you can also think about yourself in a different other role, sub role, and anything. You can think of yourself in so many roles, and also give significance and value to other roles too. Meaning sometimes you might think that your life, the most important thing at that time is to be a mom or to be a daughter, to be a carer. But then how about the role of you that have to take care of yourself. How about your own self kind of rescue or something? That also something that you might miss. So I would say, even though you feel like this is a road that you can't escape from it, but be mindful and remind of yourself of other roles in your life that is as important as well, and bring the qualities of that role to help you feeling release, or from all those emotions. And sometimes the role of traveler might be helpful. Just go and travel the world, or the road of, the spa user, or, anything, the massage, salon user and everything. So allow yourself to do other roles too.
So you talk about balance, you talk about just using different roles and recognizing the different roles in ourselves. And we have today yourself to facilitate 6-part story and also applying the role, right? But so many people are asking, can I use drama therapy on my own, or must it be facilitated by a therapist? Could you help us with that?
The one that I demonstrate in here, you can use, on your own. That's the reason why I show you so many other, forms of something of a drama therapy. You can use on your own, but you have to be careful on this, meaning if it's something that you feel like every time when you express and explore, you use your own intuition, you feel like there's something left there that could perhaps, make you feel damaged, or make, have an impact on your mood, have an impact on your health and everything like that. Perhaps that's a bit too much. So I think the level of what you can do is exactly what I show on the workshop. Just explore like, oh, the story about my life right now, if I kind of have a theme that resonate with the story, the way I coping with the stuff, maybe a way for other people to help me. Can I do anything to help myself? Or the road of the weak role or strong role and everything. So that is actually the level that you can do. But in the mental health, something that more complex, if you have a trauma, chronic depression and everything, that is more kind of complex. I would say perhaps using under the facilitations of a psychotherapist might be the best.
Yeah. So we can, and you've gifted us 2 methods already. So we can use, but we must be careful not to re-traumatize. So if there's a huge impact, you're saying, please go to somebody that can help to facilitate. Okay. I think people are curious. One specific example of using drama therapy with your client, although you've done it with us tonight, I think people are still curious to hear if you have a case study.
Oh, I have so many. I actually been drama therapist since 2000, and I would say fully since 2001. Oh, give the example. It's so many. I don't know what I can't think of at the moment now. Okay, maybe related to I have the permission to use, but I didn't have a chance, and I didn't think it's that important to tell. Say the 6-part story that I sent that I show that actually from my real client.
Right.
So yeah, so basically she's really been to a long periods, many years of the sexual abuse, of the trauma, no safeguarding issues concerning her family and her life at all, 0. So what she wants to do in her life is basically using that, her experience, to help other people, but she have no confidence in everything. So in that story, she starts to have the hero, kind of character of herself. She say, one day I will be able to do it. And I would say, explore how you could do it. So she say, you know what, I'm also love movie. I'm just going to explore how I feel if I become someone that can help people. Not necessarily that she's going to do anything about the movie, but she just wants to experience how she can feel if she able to help someone. So that will be kind of encourage her, stimulate, and make she feel kind of pumped. So then she make a story about her herself being the film producer, and then set up this production kind of company and everything. And then the third one, she says somebody burned it. And then she still have hope on the fourth one, but then she will have help, from other people to build that production, I think maybe studio, again. And then one day she will then show other people that she can do it, and help, educate people to do more film. And hero or Chiro role of herself is be able to sit in the festival or in, film, I don't know, fair or whatever, and then talk about with other people about her films. She doesn't want to be a film producer, like I told you, the filmmaker, but she wants to try different experience to build up that role, that hero, that strong role of her. So that's the potential of that story. You don't need to do the story that you think, oh, it's going to be you one day, but you use that to build up everything that you need to be the future self.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think it really piqued all our interest. And I'm going to slip in a question of mine because, when I heard you do drama therapy, I read a little bit more about it. And you also say that drama therapy incorporates like art therapy as well as, some of the other techniques. So in Singapore, this is very popular, like play therapy, art therapy, as well as psychodrama. Could you provide a little bit of insight, the difference, because what you're sharing is so fascinating, but yet there are some overlaps.
Okay, let's talk about the psychodrama first. The psychodrama using the action method, the protagonist. So pretty much for me personally, even though you can use the tools of the the stores of theater and everything, but I think psychodrama work very well with the group, because you have the action method, you can direct, you can ask people to come. For example, if Dr. Geraldine is my participants, and maybe you want to explore the story about you argue with the colleagues. I'm just saying that, right? And then maybe you just say, you know what, I don't want to play this myself, but I'm going to use Dr. John to be myself. And then, I can ask you, and who else? Who are going to be the different colleagues and things? Maybe you can choose Miss Maylin to be your colleagues and everything. And then you tell them about the story as it is a script. And then you ask them to try to reenact or improvise and everything. And then you can see it as an outsider. You give the distance to your own story, right? As an outsider, you can give a different view. You can give the perspective. You maybe, before you maybe think, I didn't do anything at all. Why this colleague angry with me? But when you see the scene, you maybe have the insight to think, actually, I didn't do anything, but perhaps because I didn't do anything, that caused him a bit frustration or things like that. So you can actually see what happened more, gain insight, and see yourself in that different perspective. In other things, it depends on how much you're going to do. In play therapy, we use a lot of objects and play and everything, because kids are so creative and they like to use that. And they're not always going to tell you and explain all that about their problem. So art and drama objects will be the great help. I work with the clients who've been in a sexually abused and obviously been raped by their own father. Of course, it's very difficult for you to ask and tell me the story, tell me what happened. And we have to involve police in here as well. And you imagine kids with the police, present, scary, right? Yeah. And the things that they've been through. So we have the objects almost like a door's playhouse.
Yeah.
And then we allow them to kind of play with the objects. At one, I don't know, I don't think it's a 1 minute, it has to be more than that. But at, short moment, that child pick up the object without saying anything, but show us the scenes of the rape. So that what art can do, use that tools already. You don't need to tell them how to play objects, right? And with art in the therapy, it doesn't have to be beautiful art and anything. You can just use the doodling and things like that. When you're talking about the movement, people think, oh, movement have to be physical theater. You have to do all sort of stuff. You have to be trained. When I talk, I use a lot of gesture, as you can see. Maybe I make you like, why is so many hands gesture? But all this is a movement. Yeah. When you say hello to someone, when you wave to someone, is the movement. When you do this and you show, how about telling me about your movement? How about telling me when you greet your friends and when you greet your people? When you work with the autistic, children, you're talking about so many ways that you greet, how many ways you can greet people. You can understand that because the creativity language, isn't it? So that's why all of this art, whatever you use, is going to be useful. And the art therapy is not using just drawing. They also look at the line, look at the form of everything. So it's really a big subject to talk about, but I will encourage you to do, and you don't, but I would say as a therapist and everything, if you don't feel comfortable to use anything, you don't have to. If you're comfortable to do just one or two tools, just use that. That's your highlight. That is your expertise. That's fine.
I'm so mesmerized by what you're saying. I'm going to end with one more question, which quite a number of people are asking. So they're asking about what drama therapy can be used for. Can it be used to reduce self-criticism? Can it be used to decrease fear? And quite a number of them are looking at the fear of public speaking. So could you help us with that?
Okay, I'm going to start with the fear of public speaking. They have quite a bit of element that you can use. You can use drama therapy as the rehearsal things, by you may be in your own bedroom or even, in your living room with or without the real audience. You can start rehearsal. But one of the things the drama therapy can help you not just rehearse, but you can actually thinking inside about the role or hero. For example, you might not think of yourself as a hero at that time, but do you have a speaker or a public speaker, or do you have any famous people or other people that you look up to, or you feel, oh, that's actually the speaker that I would like to be. It doesn't matter, but you can think. You can use the pretend play by what if I become, just part elements of that person. I'm maybe confident, or I imagine that this is not a first speaking at all. Is already the 10th or 100th and everything, and act as if you that person or that role. Or you can use the drama therapy in terms of you writing the things about yourself, the good things about yourself, and if you're fair to yourself, like write down the self-criticism things that you talk about yourself, and you think about it. Which one is helpful? Which one is harmful? Which one will be helpful for you to be a less fear public speaker? Which one would be helpful? And I ask you a question. If the self-critic is harmful, why do you want to keep it, right? If you open the fridge and you have all these rotten things or something that you think is not going to be useful for you, you throw it away. So don't keep all those unhelpful or poison thoughts as well. So that's something that you can use. For the other things, a similar question, I'm going to say, yes, drama therapy can help with all sort of things. It's so different level. Explore about yourself, give life, give a positive view about yourself with the story, with everything that I make a example. Or even when you go back to your past experience in your life, you imagine the day that you feel like you're the most comfortable with yourself, you're the most happiest, you're most confident. You can look back and think, that's still you. Your younger self is still you. Nobody take that away from you. So how are you going to bring that back? For example, I'm quite feisty. When I was young, I'd be able to talk and then opinionate, right? That's the word. I can't remember the word now, yes? And then at the moment, I'm now talking about myself now. At the moment, I'm a menopausal woman. Sometimes I feel like, oh, today I'm so tired. I don't want to talk I don't want to give view or something. But why not? I'm still have that in me. I still can debate. I still can talk. I still can share my opinion. Even though I'm a menopausal woman, it doesn't matter. So you can do that as well. Bring that experience, bring that role in the past to help you. So drama therapy can help with the confidence, with self-criticism, and something that I didn't actually have a chance to address it is actually it could work as well with the people with delusional. And for example, we actually work with patients with the schizophrenia and things like that. But that's a little bit more that we have to talk about. I'm sorry that I didn't include that here because I think that's more complex. Yeah. But in the future, if I have a chance, because that comes from my experience, I can share you this. Yeah.
At this point, I just want to quickly pass over to my co-founder of Breakthrough Therapy and Academy for appreciation. Please welcome 𝐿𝐬 𝐒𝐀𝐑𝐈𝐍𝐑𝐀𝐄. She's also the executive director of our nonprofit work, Architects of Life. So can I have 𝐿𝐬?
So you talk about how drama therapy could be used for insights, for expression, and through the process we find release. I totally resonate with it. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we really hope to host you in Singapore very, very soon.
I've got some announcements to make. We do understand that there are people who still might need some consultation, and so we have a complimentary counseling consultation just for you by Breakthrough Therapy. The link is in the chat box. I've got two exciting upcoming events here. One is called Love Thy Shadow. It's really about confronting, addressing our shadows, the areas of our life that we kind of despise and we just want to hide it from public. It's a powerful art-based therapeutic self-discovery and self-acceptance workshop. This is just 2 hours and it's held on site, like in person. It usually goes for $130 to the public, but just for you guys who have attended this, this is an insider rate for you. It won't be $50, it won't be $40, it will be $29. The sign-up form will be also given to you in the chat box as well as in our post appreciation email. The other one that I'm conducting is called Triangulation, employing classic triangulation techniques for leadership, coaching, therapeutic interventions, as well as parenting. Usual workshop value is $390, but hey, we're having a promo right now at 90% discount. That means you only pay $39 for a live in-person master clinic. This will be 3 hours, held on a weekday evening as well. And again, the dates, all this will be in July. You can find out more about that. I've got one last one, guys. Just stay put for this. This is our signature program of Breakthrough Academy, and this is held in Thailand, in Chiang Mai. It's called Thrive Wellness Retreat, a 4-day, 3-night getaway retreat. I'm going to show you a very quick, few seconds video. So this is the very amazing wellness retreat getaway, 4 days, 3 nights at the cool mountain tops of Chiang Mai. And our next intake is actually in November. So we just run the pilot one in last month, only in May. So we're open for registrations. It's very small. It's about only 10 to 12 packs per run. Again, more information. We can't wait to give you the promo as well as the details in our website here. You can find it all in this link tree. So the QR code is here as well as the URL link, which will be pumped into the chat box right now. And with that, I'm going to stop share right now and thank everyone for turning up in full force tonight. I think we had about 120 odd of us here. Thank you to our guest speaker, Ms. Sarinrat Thomas, once again.